The first night of a new star on Broadway, the opening of Ray Stark's Funny Girl, starring Barbra Streisand. One of the most exciting opening nights and parties in Broadway history. We spoke with Barbra shortly before curtain time in her dressing room backstage at the Winter Garden. So how do you feel?
Nervous.
Just nervous?
Yeah, not much more. We've had many openings already.
But, you know, the big one now, the moment of truth.
Nah, I get less nervous in the moment of truth. The easiest time is on stage. It's all, you know, the stuff that goes on before that's hardest.
What does this mean to you, this opening night, Barbra?
I don't know. It's not that kind of a thing where I've sort of been waiting for this moment all my life, strangely enough. Tonight, I mean, it's one of many things, you know, that I want to do or have done. I want to regard every performance as opening night. I don't really want to separate it. Do you know what I mean? And whatever happens normally, the excitement of the evening will happen when I go on stage. I don't like to anticipate it.
Does this mean a lot to you, Barbra? I know you're taking it in stride, but it is the culmination.
The play means a lot to me. I want the play to be right, you know, because if it is a hit, I mean, we have to play it every night, you know, for years. I mean,
is it easy to portray somebody else?
Nothing's easy if you're really doing it, but that's part of the fun.
Did you research the life of Fanny Brice at all?
No, I didn't want to approach it as an imitation or anything like that. I mean, they hired me because whatever organic things we had similar, you know, they'll work for themselves. When I'm not singing My Man, and this is not really truthful, the story. I mean, it's based on the truth, but it's a writer's play. It's not a biography.
I understand that you purposely kept yourself away from looking at movies of hers, hearing programs of hers, and so forth.
Because of that reason. I mean, I'm approaching it as a character in a play who could have been any woman who was torn between a career, marriage, and has problems of her own.
This tremendous projection immediately to the higher echelon of performers. Have you been able to accept it and adjust to it?
I haven't thought about adjusting to it. I mean, I'm the same person. Things don't change me. I mean, I'm not impressed by things, you know. With added success comes added problems, added other things. So people are people.
In your wildest dreams, did you think it would happen to this dimension?
Of course.
Emma's?
Of course. I mean, I always wanted to be famous and rich and star, and I'm not that rich yet, so, and I'm not that famous, so I still have more to go.
Isn't it an emotional experience when you're saying it comes across that way on record?
No, you know, I don't know. I don't like to talk about myself.
Oh, you better get used to it.
Unfortunately, it really is kind of boring, you know, to talk about yourself all the time.
See you later at the party, Bart.
Yeah, bye, Freddie.
But before the party came the show, with words and music by Bob Merrill and Julie Stein. There's Sidney Chaplin and Kay Medford and Danny Meehan, and there's Barbra Streisand. And how there is Barbra Streisand. This is the kind of electricity she sparked on the stage of the Winter Garden before the glittering opening night audience of sophisticated, hard-bitten New York elite, celebrities, critics, newspapermen, and veteran first-nighters.
And here comes the star of Funny Girl, Barbra Streisand.
In a moment, we'll take you to the sensational party at the Rainbow Room, 65 floors above New York streets.
Glenn, you're a man who knew Fanny Brice. There's lots of nostalgia connected with your attendance tonight. What'd you think of Funny Girl?
Barbra Streisand was the most remarkable thing I've seen in about the last 10 years.
Sophie Tucker. She has everything that I will call a star. She is star material from now on. Nothing will stop Barbra Streisand.
Leonard Sumner, the amazing thing about her performance is it is not an imitation. It is not a mimicry or aping. This is a great, great talent of 1964.
Jason Robards, in an off night from After the Fall.
Yeah, I was just stunned by this tremendous performance. I don't know what, I felt, what am I doing there? A 21-year-old girl like this got all that talent, all that class.
Maybe Lauren Bacall, Robards, what did you think tonight?
Absolutely saw the best thing I ever saw in my life in that girl. She can act, she can sing, she has an electric personality, which is what makes a star.
Great start, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You should be very proud tonight.
Yes, I think Barbra was brilliant, and the show seemed to have gone very, very well. I found it was a little colder tonight than most of the audiences we had all week, but I learned that, at least I've been told that that's a Broadway audience for an opening night, and I shouldn't be too let down by not getting the same reactions as we get during the week from the general paying public.
Frank Farrell of the New York World Telegram.
I thought it was an electrifying, very exciting thing. I think her performance made the show. Ed Sullivan was sitting across the way from me, and he was stunned. And here's a guy who I think he was one of the first ones to spot her and to bring her onto his television show. But he had no idea of these other capacities that she has.
Well, we've got the two songwriters together, the fellows who gave birth to Funny Girl tonight, Bob Merrill and Julie Stein. Julie?
We've written some songs, and we heard them really sung tonight by Barbra Streisand. It was really something.
Now, what makes this girl unanimously, the age of 20 or 21 years old, such right before your eyes,
Because
certainly one of the greatest of our generation?
Well, I can answer that because she's unique, original. Unfortunately, a lot of singers copy one another and fall into a trap. This girl has great taste, marvelous musical taste, and naturally she's going to survive a lot of people who have bad musical taste. This girl is unique, honest, no fake, honest. She's one of the greatest singers of my time, and I've heard them all.
She's going to be in the theater for a long, long time because the theater needs Barbra Streisand as she needs the theater.
The star of Funny Girl, Barbra Streisand.
Barb, now after. You tired, honey?
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Were you pleased with the way the premiere went, Barbara?
I guess so. I don't know.
Was tonight's performance any different, any more exciting than any of the others?
No, less.
Why?
Because opening night audiences are very sophisticated and they come there judging, When anybody comes to judge, it stilts everything. Their reactions, they always want to react big for the show. They think they're helping, but it just cuts off their own emotional reaction to it. So the whole thing is very pressed. I hate opening nights. They're just horrible.
Well, it's over and only a big run is in front.
I hope so.
Good luck, darling.
Thank you.
Well, Mama Streisand, what do you think about this whole thing?
Well, I'm terribly elated.
Where does the spark come from?
Actually, her singing would come from her mother, and her acting ability would also stem from her mother. Her intelligence, however, stems from her dear father, who was a PhD and a most spectacular teacher who had helped many pupils on the road to gain self-respect since he once worked in the Elmira Reformatory as an assistant principal.
And he died when she was very young,
She was 15 months old while working in a camp one summer. And he was a great loss to the teaching field.
If he could have lived to see this night, huh?
Oh, he's just with us right now.